Welcome to Young Money with Tracy Bissett, the advice show for young millionaires in the making. It's time for some $1 Million Straight Talk with Tracy, President and Chief Financial Fitness Trainer at Bissett Financial Fitness. Each week, Tracy's going to tell you what you need to know now at the beginning of your earning curve. Basic and advanced financial concepts made clear, healthy money habits and the missteps to avoid, and all the stuff that you can do to set yourself up for a future of fantastic financial freedom. Ready to lace up and start this week's financial fitness training? Let's do it, Tracy.
Welcome to the Young Money Podcast. Really pleased today we have such a special guest, Jenny Brown. Welcome to the show, Jenny.
Thank you, Tracy. It's lovely to be here.
Jenny Brown is the co-founder and managing director of Envorinex and was born in regional NSW, Australia, on a wheat and sheep farm where she learned the valuable trades of fencing, plowing, drenching sheep, milking cows, and racing old cars around the farm paddocks with her brothers, while her sisters were helping in the house, much to her mother's dismay. She started her working life picking asparagus and working in the retail industry after school and on her weekends. Jenny's career has been extremely varied, from picking grapes while traveling around Australia with 2 toddlers, co-owner of a fencing business, in the building industry for Shell Australia and Mitsubishi, within the shipping industry, transport industry, hydraulic and pneumatic industry, international timber company in Brisbane, and finally the plastics industry since 2003. In May 2019, Jenny was one of the 5 women to win the inaugural SheEO Ventures in Australia. So welcome again, Jenny.
Thanks, Tracy. It's definitely a mixed past.
Yeah, absolutely. It brings a smile to my face, all of the different things that you were doing.
It definitely still does to me, actually. So yeah, it's good memories to have, and it's definitely good experience to have when you're in a business. So I'm not sure which one of them is more valuable today. So.
Well, I came across you and your business through my involvement with an organization called SheEO. And really what that is where women investors get together and invest their money. And so I'm an activator in Canada. And so as SheEO has grown around the globe, I was interested in seeing what the women were doing in other countries. And so when I came across your company and you, I thought it'd be great to have you on the show just to share your story. So thanks so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the SheEO event is fantastic. I think it's not just the funding, it's the support that the women give to one another. I mean, I'm out of the state at the moment and in another state, and it's like, they just seem to rally around you and help you organise meetings, fantastic operation. Vicky should be very proud of what she's developed.
Absolutely. And so Jenny's talking about Vicky Saunders, the founder of SheEO. And as she often likes to say, we have everything we need in the network. And so really all you have to do is ask, and that goes for ventures and activators alike. And somebody's going to reach out and help you.
Exactly. Yes.
So I'd love it if you can start by sharing with the listeners what you do today, really kind of the nature of your business and the business model.
So today we are a plastics manufacturer. We are also a reprocessor. So we actually collect waste from different industries. Predominantly it's the agriculture industry, aquaculture and horticultural industries are the main areas. We process that waste back to a raw pellet, and then we use that pellet to manufacture new products with. And we also sell the excess pellets that we create back to other manufacturers in Australia and also overseas as well. So we have 4 divisions in our company. So we've got the manufacturing area, we have the reprocessing of soft plastics, reprocessing of rigid plastics, and we have our research and development area where the innovation transforms. So it's a very mixed business at this stage.
And what would you say a regular day looks like for you?
Oh gosh, it's extremely hectic. Because my background is accounting, then I definitely have my accounting hat on for probably half of the day. Innovation is a big part of that as well. So it's always looking for new products to develop, what we can do. So we're probably always working about 3 years out in front of where we are, just so there's always something new coming onto the system. And I work very closely with the manufacturing team. I just think it works. If you're seen to be out on the factory floor, for an hour or so during the day. It just makes for a better workplace, and the workers know that they can come and talk to you if they want to. It's a mixed day, and this week I'm actually working away from home base. So I'm basically out at meetings, working with the universities. So lots of things happening all the time.
Well, that's fantastic. Certainly lots of variety, and I'm sure you have lots of interesting challenges that fill your day.
Definitely, yeah. I think that's the best thing of being a SME. So it's basically we're a small business, but we're able to, if something doesn't work, we can change direction quickly, whereas big corporations find that very difficult to do.
Now, as you said, your background is very varied. You've done a lot of different things and had a lot of experiences. When you think about all of the things that you've done, what would you say are the key success factors that have kind of reappeared throughout that time, or things that have led you to be successful?
Definitely having that accounting experience. I thoroughly recommend anybody in business to have some sort of bookkeeping experience, just so they can keep their finger on the pulse within the business. But I have a cash flow that's updated every day. It's just a program I've developed myself. It just keeps it just makes sure that you know exactly where your business is positioned, and what you have to do to maintain that.
That's great. And I love to talk about cash flow. I talk about it on the show all the time, because in my private work with entrepreneurs, cash is really the lifeblood of any business. And so you've got to know your numbers and know where you are.
Exactly. Yeah, there's so many people that have no idea what position their business is in. And I think it's just a critical success factor.
Hello, Young Money listeners. You know that I love to talk about cash flow on the show. This episode of Young Money, featuring a fantastic entrepreneur, is sponsored by the masterclass, Can I Afford It? How to be certain of what you can and can't afford in your business in 5 minutes or less every time. This training has been specifically designed for entrepreneurs with sales in the 6 to 7 figure range to provide the 5 steps to cash flow clarity. If you are an entrepreneur with sales at these levels and want to make powerful money decisions, you do not want to miss this important masterclass. Head over to visitfinancialfitness.com/afford to register now. Stop asking yourself the question, can I afford it? Anything else that you would say in addition to the accounting background that's helped you be successful?
As you mentioned, I grew up on the land, so hard work was part of that ethos. So I think hard work doesn't hurt anybody, but you have to be able to take that as well as taking the time out of your business so that you can just reflect on what you're doing and have time with family and friends as well.
Well, that's great. And I think anybody who's listening who hears those key success factors, accounting experience, working hard, because nothing comes easy to anybody, and then taking the time out to reflect and just to have some fun with those that you care about, all really great success factors that would put anybody in good stead if they're adopting those.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I have 3 children and 2 grandchildren. So I force myself to step back out of business now and again so I can have time with them. So.
Absolutely. And certainly children grow up very quickly, so you don't want to miss all those moments. Now, when you think about a big turning point or a revelation in your life from a financial perspective, what comes to mind?
Definitely we took the business in a completely different direction. Originally we were manufacturers of plastic products which were made from virgin material. And about 4.5 years ago, we completely changed. So we've created all of the products that we were manufacturing that weren't a food grade item have been converted to being made today from 100% waste. So it's basically we're now making a profit from waste. So that has been a big change in the operation.
And how did you come up with the idea to do that?
Definitely about 8 years ago, there's the big financial issues that were happening. A lot of Australian manufacturers were going offshore because it was cheaper to manufacture offshore. There was a lot of competition from products coming in from Asia. So we basically stepped back and had a look at how we could change and make the business survive. So it was basically just a lot of research and development, trying to find quality waste that we could actually recycle again, as well as we guarantee that anything we make, that we can recycle it again. So we had to be able to use materials that we were going to be able to do it again with. So that was a lot of R&D, and today it's been a very good success factor.
Excellent. And so when you think about financial challenges or anything kind of money related, whether it be business or personal, is there anything you wish you'd known a little bit earlier in your life?
Access to finance would be great to know how to have done that. I know we've been successful in getting a federal grant with the last project we did, but surviving on your cash flow while you're doing big projects, I think we basically underestimated the time it takes to instigate big programs. So I know with the last program we put together, we were about 4 months in assembling the line and actually producing income from that line. So it's actually being able to prepare that so that you know your cash flow is going to carry you through periods like that. So that's probably something that, if I did it again, I'd be more prepared.
That's a really good point. And certainly I was a banker for many, many years. And sometimes people know how to deal well with bankers. Some people just don't have the experience. And the process does go a little bit easier if you have the information that they're looking for, if you really know how it works. So that's a great point that you raise. And I do hear that regularly from entrepreneurs who are out there. So I think everybody can learn from that. And certainly if you're thinking of creating a business or you've got a business, establish access to capital as soon as you can. And usually when you don't need it is a really good time to get started.
That's a good point.
And so if you think about somebody you may know, might be a celebrity, it could be some financial guru, who inspires you when it comes to financial matters?
I'd say it's my family, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing this for the family. I mean, it's just showing the children that, this is what you can do. I don't think there's anyone in particular. I don't think money is the ends of all ends. So, I mean, to say I'm doing this also for the environment. So, I think it's just my family is probably the biggest inspiration.
Well, that's fantastic. And we do hear that quite a bit. And I really love how you added in that it's not just about money. It is for the environment. And certainly you're making everything with waste. And then you've also got that guarantee that everything can be recycled again. So you've really put a strong commitment out there that you were there for the environment.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, it can be done. We've proven that this can be done. It's just plastic just has to be used more sensibly. So, yeah, and it's financially viable to do this.
Excellent. Now, before I let you go, I'd love it if you can share with us what you're working on now, and then certainly where the listeners can go to learn more about you and the company.
Okay, so right at this moment, hence the reason I'm out of my current state, is we're looking to develop another, basically replicating our process into another area within Australia. So that's basically, installing lines and setting up a complete new operation. So I'm currently, that's where we're at the moment. We've got a prospectus out to people that are interested in coming on board and becoming an investor with us. And so that's where I'm at the moment. If anybody wants to get in touch with us, they can either email me directly or go to our website and you'll find a link on there to get in touch with me. But we'd love to have anybody on board that's interested.
Well, super. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I've really appreciated hearing about your stories and certainly your different experience and your takeaways from the business. Loved what you said about making a profit from waste, and probably some people thought you might have been a little bit out there in terms of your thinking, but you've certainly done it and you've proven that it's financially viable, which is wonderful. Love the candor in which you shared your stories around what the business is doing and really getting access to that financing, and really what your inspiration is and that you're doing it for your family and they're the motivation. and that it's not just about money. It's about creating something. It's about helping the environment and making sure that the world is a good place when your grandkids are growing up and for their kids and so on. So I think that's fantastic. So thank you so much for joining me today, Jenny.
Thank you, Tracy. It's been lovely.
So there you have it, listeners. Jenny Brown, the co-founder and managing director of Envorinex in Australia. As I mentioned, Jenny was one of the 5 women to win the inaugural SheEO Ventures in Australia. Until next time, take good care and stay financially fit.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. To all you millionaires in the making out there, if you love this podcast, please subscribe on iTunes to keep your financial fitness training going. Oh, and leave us a review. And be sure to visit 2 S's, 2 T's, financialfitness.com to take your free financial fitness assessment. Find out how financially fit you really are. See you next week, young millionaires to be.